Hello and welcome back to our channel. In our last video we mentioned that we might do a wildcard draft, and today we're going to make good on that promise. We'll be sharing a draft of our wildcard team and giving you an insight into our thought processes behind the selections. We will be going through each selection, explaining why we've chosen that player, their statistics, their form, and what we expect from them in the coming game weeks. Let's get started. First up, we have our bench. Starting with our keeper, we've gone for Kepa. He's been in great form and rotates nicely with my other keeper, who I'll talk about in a while. Since the restart, he has kept 2 clean sheets and does have the second highest points after Pope since then. He's also relatively cheap for a goalkeeper of his caliber, and we expect him to pick up some points in the next few weeks, in which we do rotate him with our first choice keeper. Next, we have Leon Bailey. I've gone for him as my budget midfielder over Andreas Pereira, as he does have easier fixtures which will come in handy during the blank game weeks. He is a threat going forward and does seem to be nailed for Villa. For our defenders, we have Ben White, who for now sits on my bench because I do have better options in my starting 11. Arsenal's defense hasn't looked too good since the restart, but they have kept 2 clean sheets since then. Ben White is the cheapest nailed option from them, and unlike Saliba and Gabriel, he isn't 1 yellow card away from suspension. As my cheap defender, I've gone for Tarkowski instead of Bueno, as Everton are the only team confirmed not to have blanks in game week 25 and 28, so the inclusion of Tarkowski may save me a transfer in the near future. Now, Everton have conceded the most goals of any team since the restart, but all I can do at this point is hope they bring their form back up, as they are the only confirmed team to be playing in both game week 25 and 28 according to the information provided by Ben Crell. Let's now go through the starting 11. First up, Ederson in goal. As I did say earlier, his fixtures do rotate quite nicely with Kepa, and the main reason I had to include someone from Man City's defense in the wildcard was because of the upcoming double game week. Ederson is the most nailed option for Man City's defense, and hopefully they could up their defensive form and start keeping clean sheets again. On to the defense, and we start off with the Newcastle pair in Trippier and Burn. Newcastle do face 3 of the 5 worst sides in the league for expected goals in the next 3 games, quite promising for the both of them. Trippier is expected to score the most points over the next 5 games, despite both Man City and Arsenal having a double game week in 23. As I said in my previous video, we have now come to a stage in FPL where owning just one Newcastle defender actually causes your rank to fall if they do keep a clean sheet, and because of that I took the cheapest nailed option for the side in Dan Burn. He has been more attacking than Botman since the restart, and thus the preference. Next up is Luke Shaw from United. I did say in my previous video it is a tough decision on whether to start White or Shaw this game week, and that decision has since gone tougher. Casemiro picked up his 5th yellow card of the season and thus will be suspended for the game against Arsenal, which makes the United defense look a lot more vulnerable compared to a fully fit Arsenal. Moving on to the midfield, and we start off with the hero at the start of the season, in Rodrigo. He is my differential pick in this draft and he is less than 10% owned. I could have gone for Martinelli, Odegaard, Mahrez or even Bruno in this position, but I'm sticking with the Spaniard for now. I'll reveal my final team selection in my next video. Next up, Saka, a pretty good pick from Arsenal who may be downgraded to Odegaard or Martinelli. It is important to include Arsenal players as they do have a double game week in 23, which may be of great points potential. Rashford, who has been a solid pick for a couple of weeks now, comes in next for me. There is news that there might be a United double next game week where they will face Palace and Leeds. This will include an injury and suspension free United, so I do feel like they shall be good in against both those sides. Due to this, it isn't too bad to double up on the United attack while having one defender at the back too. Lastly in the midfield is Mitoma. He can easily be switched up from March, but the former has had better goal threat since the restart. 5 big chances compared to the only 1 of March. With Trossard coming back, however, I don't know how nailed Mitoma will be for Brighton, and for those reasons I might make the switch to March come the deadline. On to the forwards, and we start off with Haaland, but without captaincy for now. He faces Spurs tonight and then has only a 3-day turnaround for the easier Wolves game, and so I believe he has a full chance of getting rested for that one. So I'm not willing to take the risk on captaincy for him this game week. Next up, Kane, up against Fulham, which has been a side that he has a consistent goal scoring record against. He could well add to his 4 goals in his last 5 outings against them with his recent form in the Premier League. Lastly, to finish off the attack is Tony. I was skeptical of starting him, but I'm willing to take the risk on his potential ban, as I do have good starting options in the bench that could come in at any time may his ban be announced. 5 big chance involvements in just 3 games gives him the best big chances ratio after Haaland and Darwin. Of course, this isn't my final team selection before the deadline. Stay tuned for that by subscribing to the channel and turning on the post notification bell. See you soon for the next video.